Good morning, guys. So it's another cook and bake with me day today in the kitchen. Let me straighten you guys out a little. But today I want to get started off by making some homemade pie filling, and I do want to can it. But the reason I'm doing this is one, because apples are cheap right now. It is apple season, so Babe was able to get some apples, which I'm going to show you guys, from Costco, and I think he said they were like on sale, and they were like $4 or something each. So 2 packs of these were the price of like 1 pack of Honeycrisp apples, and I know Honeycrisp is the most expensive, which is why I didn't get those. But we got some Gala apples, so they were nice and cheap from Costco. So I have those, and I really like having like my softened kind of cooked down apples with cinnamon and sugar in my oatmeal. And because it's starting to get colder, I thought I would make some oatmeal for breakfast for the week, and that way I could also have my apple kind of topping. But because apples are on sale, I thought I would can them and make like this apple, like it's like a pie filling essentially, but I'm gonna be canning them. So this time though, my pressure water bath canner does not take quart-sized jars, and this recipe is for quart-sized jars. So I'm gonna be doing it like the old method where you put the water in like a large stock pot, which is what I'm going to be using, since my jars should get nice and covered in here. So that will be interesting for me to do that. And then I do need my stock pot after, because I need to make tomato soup and I gotta let my tomatoes cook down. So I thought I would get this done first, get that out of the way, so then that my tomatoes can cook down and simmer, so I can make some tomato soup. So I'm gonna be following this recipe. I'm gonna start off by filling this halfway with water. So I got this filling with water. All right, the recipe says this is gonna make 1 jar filling. I don't wanna do all this just for one. So I am gonna go and try and make, I don't know, I wish I could pressure can it, but this is like a water bath canning, and it says quart jars. Specifically, it doesn't tell me anything for pint-sized jars. So my packages say that this is 4 pounds of apples, which means I can make 2 from here and 2 from the other. Oh wait, no, 2.5 inches. Yeah, 4 pounds. Okay, so I think we could do 4 quarts, but it says peel, quart, and slice about 6 cups, 2 pounds apples. I think we should be able to do 4. So I'm going to put 4 kind of quart-sized jars in here so that they don't tip. Just to like warm the jars up. I think halfway. I don't know. They hold better if I have more water than not. So I think we're just gonna have more water. Oh my gosh, guys, this is so heavy. Woo. That's like an arm workout. I feel like I'm gonna need more quart-sized jars in there just to make sure that the other ones don't kind of float and they don't move. But for now, I'm gonna start peeling all of my apples. All right, so I'm trying out this new kind of peeler I have. Hopefully this works, but the way I saw it was just like, I don't know, like easy peel. I have like another peeler also, but I thought this one might be easy. The way I saw somebody peeling, but it was carrots, they were literally just going like holding it away from them and peeling that way, but I don't know. Seems a little harder for me right now.
It is recommended to boil carrots for 8 minutes to 10 minutes on the stove.
Okay, great. Wasn't talking about carrots. Or actually, I did mention them, but still. So I am keeping all my peels because I'll give them to my sister for her chickens. Bless you, Hazel. Bless you. Okay, next up is us to peel and core them. So far, I only did the one batch of apples. And I'm gonna get these done first. This one's got a lot of bruising going on here. Actually, quite a bit of them do have the bruising happening. Like, we don't want to use that part for canning. Oh my god, my garbage stinks. It says to slice these. I don't know, I kind of want to dice them because that's just how I eat my apples. Alright guys, I got my apples. I'm supposed to bring this to a boil. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to turn on my stock pot also because I didn't do that. I figured since I still have another batch of apples I got to do that, you know, I wouldn't do that just yet. But to the apples, I need to add in, since I have 4 pounds, I need to add in 1 cup of sugar. And that's supposed to, I'm supposed to let that come to a boil and let it simmer. So while that's doing that, I will get started on peeling the other apples. Alright guys, this has come to a boil, so I'm going to let this simmer now for about 5 minutes. Alright guys, now it says to remove it from heat, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. It says to stir in my flavorings, and it says to do 2 tablespoons of bottled lemon juice. Well, yeah, did it say 2 or is it 1? Hold on. Alright, it's 2 tablespoons for 1 quart. I'm doing double, so I gotta do 4. For nutmeg, it says 1/4 a teaspoon. I'm gonna do a half because I have a double batch here. And then for cinnamon, it says to do 1/2 teaspoon. So I am gonna do 2½ teaspoons because again, I have a double batch here. And I gotta refill this container. Might as well just add in the rest. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mix that up. My jars are not yet ready, so I'm not gonna ladle them in yet. But I'm gonna continue working on my other batch of apples here. Alright guys, I am gonna start filling my jars. And it is not like boiling yet, which is fine. The jars is only to kind of heat them up, but I really need to get this going because I still have my other apples I need to cook. So I'm gonna take this out. Actually, I'm gonna grab a glove and I'm gonna pour the water. Do I pour the water back in? I don't even know. It says I need to cover the jars by 1 to 2 inches, but then I saw somebody else, and last time when I did this, I didn't cover the jars. But let's pour this water in. Alright, so I have this new funnel that can be used for like regular mouth or wide mouth. This is a regular mouth, and it basically tells you the measurements here. So if I need to leave 1/2 inch headspace, I know where I need to stop, which is great. So I'm gonna go ahead and, what does it say? Ladle hot fruit mixture into a jar. Alright, ladle hot fruit mixture into a jar. Is it still hot? I'm not sure, but Feel like I need to move this over here. Yep, this is not making two batches. This is gonna make one. Or one and some change. And if I overfill it, well, I gotta pop the air bubbles anyway. So I'm gonna grab my bubble popper thing. Alright, I think that's approximately half an inch. Okay, I'm just gonna take a napkin. I shouldn't have anything on the jars because this literally sat in the jar, but just in case, I wiped the rims. And I'm gonna go ahead and make this finger tight. And then this is supposed to go back in there while I take the other one out. I'm just not gonna have enough mixture to go into this jar because, like I said, it's definitely not making two, but we'll see what I could do. Alright, so that's all I got here. I'm going to put in my other apples that I had cut up into that same pan that I was using before, and then we'll add sugar into that and have that cook down. I feel like this part didn't take so long, so maybe it'll be done in no time. Alright guys, I have all my quart-sized jars in there now. It's on like a rolling boil, so it's going to be in there for 30 minutes. I was able to get 3 quart-sized jars. I have a little bit left over that wasn't going to do a quart, but I could add that to some oatmeal this week. Actually, that reminds me, I need to soak some oatmeal because I can't make my oats until I soak them to get rid of as much of the phytic acid as possible. I feel like I haven't had oatmeal in a long time, so this will be nice to have again because, you know, summers, I wasn't eating oatmeal over the summer. It was, you know, hot. I was eating avocado toast or my homemade sourdough bread with cottage cheese and tomatoes. So now that it's getting colder, I thought we'll make some oatmeal. So I'm gonna do, I think, 2 cups of oatmeal. 2 cups doesn't seem like enough. We'll do 4 cups. Babe could always have some oatmeal too. Maybe I should just do the 3 cups. I don't even remember what my recipe says to make oatmeal. Alright, we'll do 4 cups, I guess. So this is my 4th cup. So in order to soak oatmeal, you're gonna put water in here and some apple cider vinegar. You just want a splash of apple cider vinegar, and that helps get rid of the phytic acid, which is like kind of like the coating on the oatmeal that helps preserve it and whatnot. It is a preservative, so to get rid of that, just follow those steps. And then I'm just gonna put some water in here, and I'm gonna let this sit probably until the afternoon, the late afternoon. You want it to sit for at least 6 hours. So you just want enough water to coat most of the oatmeal. I always do like an extra little bit, and I don't want any fruit flies, so I am just going to cover it up with my bowl cover. You guys know fruit flies love apple cider vinegar, which is the concoction that I usually make with just like, actually I do need to do that. So I'm going to take a glass cup here. I'm going to put some apple cider vinegar down to the bottom, just a little bit. You don't need a ton. The fruit flies are attracted to that, as you guys just saw one fly by, because I've got some more fruit flies. Some of my oranges started going bad again, and so we've got more fruit flies again. Alright, so then you just take some saran wrap, you put it over your cup, And then just take a clean knife and you're just gonna use the tip to poke holes in, and the fruit flies can get through that, and then they're attracted to the apple cider vinegar. They go down there, and then that's where they go to die. Alright, so you just poke a bunch of holes. Try not to do too many really close to the end, because that's how they will basically find their way out. They could just crawl out of the cup at that point. So you do want it like in, you know, just not around the edges of the cup. So I'm just gonna lay this down here, and all my fruit flies are gonna go in there. Maybe I'll remember to check in on it later to show you guys. But right now, I am gonna start making my tomato soup. Actually, do I want it there or do I want it? You know what, we'll leave it there for now, and if I wanna move it to the island, I will do that later. But anyway, we need to start making some tomato soup. So I have a recipe on my phone that I will link down below, and this is to freeze tomato soup. So I'm gonna make it. I'll probably have some today, and then I will freeze the rest. And this is, they have either Instant Pot directions, or you can do a stovetop method. She has both methods. I'm gonna do the Instant Pot method just because I have an Instant Pot and that's a little bit more hands-off. So that's what I'm gonna do. So this recipe says to do 4 pounds of tomatoes, which is, she's saying, is about 16 tomatoes. I am gonna weigh it. And I do want my tomatoes actually poured. So as I am putting them in there, I will pour my tomatoes just to get that center out. I could have canned this, but the canner recipe has a lot more onion, and I probably makes a bigger batch, but it has a lot more onion and some other things that I would have needed to go to the store for, and well, I'm not at the store, so I'm gonna use kind of what I have here, and I have a ton of tomatoes I need to use up, so that's why I am gonna do this and make some tomato soup. And I've been like dreaming about tomato soup. My parents used to make tomato soup all the time growing up. So just to give you guys an idea, these are the tomatoes that I need to process first that are starting to get a little wrinkly. So I wanted to use these for my freezer soup. And depending on how many I use, I may make a second batch. I'm not yet sure, depending on how I like the soup. So I'll do one batch first, and if I need to do another one, I will. But I have all these tomatoes that I need to use also, just sitting on my windowsill. And then I have more tomatoes over here as well, and then more in my garden, if you guys could see, that need to be picked. So we're swimming in tomatoes here. So depending on how much soup my one batch makes, I may do either another batch of soup, or after I'm done using that stock pot, I may make some more pasta sauce to can and pressure can. So it's just, you know, kind of trial and error and trying to figure out what I have time for today, because it is Sunday, so it's not like I could do this stuff again tomorrow. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. We're gonna process as many tomatoes as I can today. And if I need to, like since some of them are becoming fairly ripe, if I need to, I will freeze them and then process them maybe next weekend, because you can freeze tomatoes until you are ready to process them, and you just freeze them whole. I mean, you could freeze them whole, you could core them already, which is probably what I will do. I'll core them and then freeze them, and then when you're ready to process them, you could just take them straight from the freezer. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tomatoes in here so far. 9 tomatoes, and we're at 3 pounds now. Okay, this one I'm only going to use half of it. Half of it's like a little soft. And then same thing with this one. I'm only going to do half of this one. So that'll make, I don't know if we're on 11 or 12, but you get the idea. So this part right here. I'm not going to use that side. Okay, we're at 3.8 pounds of tomatoes. I don't know if this is 12 or 13 now. Alright, and that brings us to 4.3 pounds, and we're going to go with it. You guys are currently sitting in between a bunch of spoons, and I hope that you guys can hear me. but I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil into my Instant Pot here, and I'm gonna turn the saute function on. Okay, and then we are gonna throw in my, I don't know, I feel like that wasn't 2 tablespoons. Just throw in a little bit more. So the recipe says 1 onion. I have frozen onion. I don't know if you guys saw my other video where I chopped onion and I froze it, and yeah, it comes apart very easily, so I could just dump in a bunch of onion. I don't remember how much onion I have in here, but we're gonna eyeball it and do like maybe like 2 handfuls or half the bag. That looks, you know, that looks like a good amount. Having chopped onion on hand is great. And then I also have my my frozen garlic cubes. So it says to do about 6 garlic cubes. I want to say that each one of these is about 3 minced garlics that I did last time, but I'm going to throw in 3 of these. I don't know. It's always different. I need to like remeasure that again next time. Alright, so chopped onion is definitely a time saver. I want to just go get a bag from Costco and do literally the whole entire thing and freeze it. Like, that is so easy. I don't have to chop onion. I don't have to cry while chopping it. It is so great. So I am sauteing my onion and garlic in here. You guys can't really tell. I was hoping you guys would be able to see it, but it doesn't seem like you can. But I'm just going to go ahead and saute that. So my timer just went off from my canner. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off and leave it for about 5 minutes while I'm doing this before I take my jars out. So here it looks like my onion and my garlic is, you know, looking good. I'm going to throw in the rest of the ingredients in here, and that includes all of my tomatoes. I'm going to throw these guys in. That also includes 1 cup of bone broth or chicken broth. I wanted to use my frozen one, but obviously it's still frozen. So I am going to just use this bone broth from Costco. It is a great alternative. So I got my 1 cup in there. And then it says you could do either oregano or basil. I am going to do oregano today just because I have oregano straight from Italy. That was dried in Italy by Babe's family or whatever, because they're all like, his rest of his family, or a lot of his family, is in Italy. They're Italian, and so we have some oregano from them. So I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of oregano in here. Then we're gonna do salt. It's half a teaspoon of salt. I'm using a 1 teaspoon measurement, so I'm gonna eyeball about half. And that is everything. So I'm just gonna kind of, I don't know, get this in there. I don't know, should I mix it up or not? Not really sure. There's just a bunch of whole tomatoes in here. If you guys could see. Let me show you. So yeah, there's just a bunch of tomatoes in here to make my tomato soup. And so I'm going to cover this up, and I am going to pressure cook that for 10 minutes. Alright, so I'm setting this to pressure cook now in 10 minutes. So that's gonna do its thing there. Guys, I also have a lot of carrots. So there's a couple of things I wanted to do with carrots. I wanted to make carrots to can, but I also want to make soup. I need to clean my counters. Because I'm gonna make the soup right now, I am going to get this apple out of here. I do have another Dutch oven, but I don't feel like, you know, using another dish, even though I still have to wash this one, but it's just less big things I have to wash later. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my carrots in here. Not my carrots, oh my god, my apples in here for now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and wash this pot. I've been trying to do dishes as I go, so I really only have like this bowl in here now that I can wash that I just used from the tomatoes. because my timer just went off, I'm gonna go ahead and take out my jars from my canner, and I'm going to hope that they all kind of sealed. So I've been using these things. You could just use a towel, but basically you don't want to put them directly on a counter because of the cold, and you don't want to risk cracking your jars. So I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, I think I was supposed to do that at 5 minutes uncovered. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take these out, and I'm gonna hope that they all seal. I decided I'm actually gonna transfer these to an actual like towel and just put them on a towel instead, only because I'm seeing like a lot of like liquid here, and it's already starting to drip onto my counter. So at least with the towel, it can be contained. I don't know if you guys could see, but look at all this liquid that came out of there. And it's not a pretty liquid because I guess it siphoned in my counter, and that's why, so some of the juice kind of came out, which is fine. That happens, but yeah. I'm gonna let you guys charge for a little bit while I'm in the kitchen, but all I'm gonna do right now, I have some carrots. I'm going to peel them and chop them until I have about 2 pounds of carrots, because then I'm also gonna make a carrot pumpkin soup. So right now, I'm just gonna peel and chop the carrots, and I will charge you guys in the meantime. All right guys, my tomato soup is done. I need to get that blended up in my blender. I have 2 pounds of carrots cut up, and this carrot pumpkin soup recipe is very easy. All I gotta do is do my onions, garlic, and carrots in here, saute them for about 15 minutes until they're fork tender, and in a separate pot, heat up some vegetable broth. I'm gonna use bone broth. And then you just throw it all into a blender, and then in your blender you add in the spices with the pumpkin puree, and then just kind of blend that up. So I'm gonna have my blender out already from the tomatoes, and then I could just do that. So I'm gonna get these cooking, and then we'll process the tomatoes. But what I wanted to say before about canning before my camera died is that I'm not following things exactly. And don't come at me and say I need to do it the FDA way, the way that it's approved from the FDA to prevent disease or whatever. Don't come at me. I am learning as I go is number one. Number two, I have a ton of canning books. So I am trying to do those recipes from canning books specifically, but where I am changing things up a little. Like for example, I didn't cover my water bath canner with water enough to cover the jars. That's something that the FDA says you gotta do. I watch a ton of other canners, people that have been canning for decades. I have talked to people, some friends that I have met along the way from the crafty world even, that live on a farm and can and have been doing this forever. I have talked to them and asked millions of questions. So these are all people that have canned for years and years and years, and it's been passed down from generation. So yeah, I didn't do that. And all my jars sealed. They're 100% sealed. They're all good. None of them did not seal. None of them did not seal. They all sealed, so I'm good to go. If you feel more comfortable following FDA, then follow that recipe to a T. I did follow the recipe to a T, but I just, I didn't put the water in the pot to cover the jars. But if you want to do that, you go for it. You do you. This is why this is not a canning channel. I am learning as I go, but I learn so much, and I read a ton, and I watch a ton of videos, and I ask a ton of questions. So I feel comfortable doing it my way. But if you don't, that's fine. Just don't come at me. Don't say I'm doing it wrong. There's so many different ways of canning, and it's not just one way. People have canned for generations until the FDA decided, hey, you need to get new of this and this and this every time you can, which you really don't. But that's a whole other thing. So yeah, just do you. But do you safely. do your research, get your wealth of knowledge, learn before you do all that. So with that being said, I gotta get this Dutch oven going. Actually, let me move my Instant Pot. All right, this is good for me to move. All right, so I will do that in a second. I have this dishes I still gotta do, but right now I need to get my carrots on the stovetop, or actually my onions and garlic on the stovetop before the carrots. And I'm just eyeballing that. And all right, I got my onions and garlic again. I already added onions to my list for the next Costco run, but until then, I mean, this might last me. This one says a small onion, so I'm gonna do, I guess, 1 handful, or like 1.5-ish. That seems good. This looks like a small onion, but I really love chopping those up and freezing them. That makes my life so much easier. And I'm gonna do 2 cubes of my garlic. I think the recipe said 4 garlic cloves. Okay guys, I have my garlic, onion, and carrot here. I now set a timer for 15 minutes once I put the carrots in. Then I have 4 cups of bone broth in here just to heat up. That's what the recipe says to do. And in the meantime, I'm gonna get my blender out. We're gonna do the tomatoes. But I also did share a trick on my phone. I forgot to film it. So I'm gonna put that clip in here on when you're pouring like containers that look like this. Like, I didn't know this, guys. I recently learned it on Instagram myself, but there's a trick to pouring these containers so they don't do all that gulping, like the gulp, 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 and then they splash all over the place. Yeah, so I'm gonna put that clip in here. All right, how many of us have been pouring any of these kind of containers wrong our whole lives? Are you ready for this? So this is how we normally pour, right? And you get like the gulping and then the splashing everywhere. Well, look at this, guys. You flip it the other way and pour like this. And it just pours. How great is that? No more gulping like this. Yep. How old were you when you just learned that? So let me know if you guys knew that trick already, or if you guys also just learned. So I got my blender out. I'm so happy I got a Vitamix now. Did I even share this? I don't even know if I shared that I got a Vitamix. So yeah, my food processor died. I got a Vitamix. I made all my breadcrumbs last week in here. It was fantastic. So right now, I am gonna ladle my soup in here. This is my tomato soup. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna turn you guys a little bit this way. And I think I'm just gonna kind of hold this and ladle my soup in here. And then we're gonna blend this up. And some people take their skins off. Some people strain it from the seeds. I'm gonna see what mine looks like afterwards, and then I'll see and decide if I want to strain it. Like, I don't normally strain my sauce or anything, so I've been, you know, eating it just the way it is, and it's been fine, but we'll see. All right, and that was a perfect amount for the max capacity. It's a little over the max capacity line, but I think it'll be fine. And we are gonna blend this up. So I'm gonna turn on my blender. I'm not really sure like how high, but I think it's supposed to go to its fullest. Alright guys, so I had that blending for about 2 minutes. I'm going to open up the top in case there's any like steam that needs to escape, because it does get hot. You guys could see the color changed as I was doing this, which is pretty cool and interesting. I need a sip. I made some orange juice before, off camera, because I was on the phone at FaceTiming with my mom. But my oranges were, or the fruit flies were all over my oranges, and I needed to make some orange juice. So I just made one for today and one for tomorrow for work, because tomorrow's work. All right, so I am going to pour myself a bowl of this, because this is going to be today's, I don't know, lunch, dinner with some bread. And then the rest I am going to have, I'm going to put in the freezer. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't know if I was supposed to add anything else. You know, maybe I should taste test it first. All right, let's taste test my soup. That's a really good soup. I feel like I have no seeds in here. Oh, that soup is good. Yeah, I'm double dipping. I'm gonna be the only one eating this because Babe's not gonna eat soup. I think it needs a little bit more salt, but it's really good. I'm gonna add in a little bit more salt, put it back on the blender just so it could all get mixed in. This is speaking to my soul right now. So this tastes really delicious, guys. I'm just gonna add in a little bit more salt. And the way that growing up we used to always eat it was with rice. I have rice frozen, so anytime I do want in the future, I will eat it with rice. Today I have bread, so I'll probably just have bread with butter and like dip it in here. I think I'm also gonna add in a little bit more oregano into here and just blend it all up because it's really good. I like the oregano. So we'll just, you know, blend that all up and mix it together again. All right, so I put aside a bowl of soup for me for today. I also put aside a little teeny bowl of soup for Babe. I know he's probably not gonna eat it, but I at least want him to try it. And then, because I like it so much, I'm gonna make a second batch with my fresh tomatoes. Might as well. Gotta use up the tomatoes anyway. And so I will make a second batch. But look how liquidy smooth this is. There's like no seeds in here whatsoever. I'm very happy with my Vitamix, guys. It's really still great. I just wish I had more of these super cubes now. And I'm freezing it in 1 cup sizes because that's all I'll need for like a batch for me. And I don't have a little bit left, so I'm just gonna add that to my soup for today. I just placed a Costco order for delivery. That'll be here in a couple of hours. I got 4 more packs of apples because it only made 3 apple pie fillings. So I got 4 more packs of apples. I got mangoes because I need mangoes for the week. I got a 10-pound bag of onions, so I'll be chopping those up and freezing them. And what else did I get? I got just some bananas and I mean, it was mainly apples. Oh, I got a big thing of cinnamon, but it was mainly, oh, and I got chicken thighs just because I don't feel like defrosting any, and that is going to be a sheet pan dinner I'm going to make later, and that's probably going to be my lunch tomorrow too for work. So yeah, that'll be here in a couple of hours. So I got a lot to do until then. So guys, I read the recipe wrong with the carrot and the pumpkin. I was supposed to add the spices with like the garlic and carrots and everything, but I'm gonna add them in here now that we're gonna blend it up because I didn't add them before. I do need a can of pumpkin. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should start from like the top. Yeah, actually this is the top. So a can of pumpkin, and we are going to be using this whole thing. I have a lot of pumpkin from Costco. I have some in my pantry, and I have a whole other box that I didn't realize I had in the garage. So we're going to be making pumpkin recipes, even like with sourdough, which today maybe I want to make some more pumpkin chocolate chip cookies because I have a lot of like sourdough discard I now kind of need to use. So, all right, what's next? We are going to add in the carrots. My carrots are a little hot. And some of them got, you know, a little toasty in here, but it's fine. It's all gonna get blended up. All right, so I have my carrots in here. It said to heat up the bone broth, which I don't know why. It's gonna get blended up anyway, but I'm gonna add in my bone broth in here. Okay, and then I need the spices. So I need ginger, cumin, cinnamon, lemon juice, ginger, cumin. Oh, I guess it does say cumin. Cumin, cinnamon. I already have that out. Ginger, cumin, cinnamon. Oh, and my lemon juice. So with canning, you need to have either lemon juice or citric acid around, and it has to be the bottled one, not fresh squeezed lemon juice. So I do have lemon juice kind of like on hand all the time now. This is a teaspoon. Oh, I need half a teaspoon of those, and then I need a tablespoon of lemon juice. Okay, so I got half a teaspoon and a tablespoon. So, oh, actually 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I'm gonna put that in here. Oops. That's 1, 2, half a teaspoon of these ingredients. So here is, I don't know, I think that was cumin. I'm gonna do the ginger and the cinnamon. I'm gonna blend this all together, and we're gonna have a delicious carrot pumpkin soup. All right, guys, this soup is very thick. I was adding in a lot more bone broth that's not heated up, but this is very, very, very thick. I like my soup not as thick as a smoothie. Let me see the taste at least, but I'm gonna take some out because this is overflowing now. It's very creamy. It's good. I actually think I want to add in some more cumin, but I gotta take some out first because, like I said, very thick. I'm gonna pour some into this big measuring cup. Okay, I'm gonna pour more. I keep doing this the wrong way. There we go. Alright guys, so I did that. I'm gonna wash that pan that I cooked the carrots in so I could put this in there and mix everything kind of together. And I'm still waiting for my containers from the other soup to freeze. I'm cooking a whole other batch of that tomato soup again because it was so good and I would love to freeze it, and with fresh tomatoes, oh my god, I'm mind blown. Anyway, so right now I'm about to peel some sweet potatoes. Like I mentioned to you guys earlier, I need to have some kind of lunch for tomorrow, and I thought sweet potatoes. I saw like this sheet pan dinner thing recently on YouTube, so I thought I would try a sheet pan dinner, which is why I also ordered chicken thighs. So I am going to peel my sweet potatoes right now. I don't know how many sweet potatoes I'm supposed to be using, so we are just, I don't know, I have some 4 small ones right here. And I do also have to use my sweet potatoes because I had purchased sweet potatoes from Target. Babe got some sweet potatoes from Costco, and now we're also swimming in sweet potatoes. So we just have a lot of, you know, fresh kind of foods that we need to be eating. So yeah. So that's why I'm gonna peel some sweet potatoes and I'm gonna dice them up. They will go on a sheet pan. I don't remember what the original recipe is, but I'm following one that Acre Homestead. She tried her hand at sheet pan dinners for the first time, and so she did this one. It's like it's gonna be like a honey garlic kind of chicken, some kind of sauce or something. But she really loved this one. And so I thought I would try this, but she also baked hers with green beans. So when we went to Costco this week, I had put green beans on the grocery list because I knew I wanted to make this. So I'm just peeling my sweet potatoes and then we're gonna dice them up. Then I still have to wait for my chicken thighs, but in the meantime we'll make the dressing and stuff, and yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and chop these up. Normally if these were bigger sweet potatoes I would get my chopper, but these are small so they're not that hard to cut. I mean, maybe I should get my chopper anyway because they're mad easy to cut in the chopper. And I mean, I'm gonna need my chopper in a bit anyway to do my onions, so maybe I'm just gonna get my chopper out. So you still have to make them semi-small pieces to fit, but these will be good. Some of these are harder to cut than others. Alright, so I don't know if that's enough. That's what I did for now. It's probably the one I'm gonna need later, that attachment, but I'm gonna be using this one right now for my sweet potatoes. And you just put them in here and they just get chopped for you. And it like you don't even have to press hard. It literally just like takes the work out of it for you. All right, there we go. We got all my sweet potatoes chopped up and ready to go. So I'm going to put my sweet potatoes over here. I think that's a good amount. And then I'm gonna have green beans and chicken thighs.
Recipe called for chicken thighs.
All right, so I'm gonna add my green beans. I'm still waiting on my chicken thighs. Those are gonna be here, I don't know, in like an hour or so. But I got some green beans. I'm gonna move this over actually for a second here, because this is not gonna get the sauce. This is just gonna get some olive oil and salt and pepper that I'm gonna add, and I will mix it in with my hands. But the rest, the sweet potato and the chicken, is gonna get a sauce. I just wanted to kind of prepare this in advance before that does arrive, because then I could just put it on here, add the sauce, and get it in the oven. So just preparing a little bit in advance because I'm at the point where I want to be done in the kitchen. So trying to just do what I can. Okay, so sweet potatoes, and then my chicken will go here, and let's make the sauce. All right, so the recipe says to add in 3 tablespoons of honey, and then it says to warm it up to make it a little bit easier, I guess, to spread and whatnot. So I'm gonna add my honey here, and I'm gonna be very generous with this. All right, so that is my honey. And the recipe also says to do garlic powder, and the video I watched, she did fresh minced garlic, so that's what I'm gonna do because I have my garlic cubes, so why not? I also could grate some ginger because I did get some ginger to grate and freeze, but I don't feel like possibly doing that today. But I'm gonna be freezing them just like I freeze my garlic. I'm gonna be freezing fresh ginger as well. I'm gonna heat this up for about 10 seconds. That's what the recipe says to do. Then I'm gonna grab some olive oil because that's next. That was 10 seconds. All right, it definitely is more liquidy. If you guys could see, it's moving around. Then it says 1/4 cup of olive oil. And then I gotta pull together all my other spices that we need. So let me see. It says cayenne pepper, chili powder, salt. All right, we got a lot, hold on. Chili powder? Who doesn't have chili powder? I don't. All right, you know what guys? I'm gonna use taco seasoning. That sounds close enough to chili powder. Then some salt, pepper. Where's my salt and pepper? Oh, there it is. Salt, pepper. Oh, and we need ginger. 1/4 teaspoon cayenne. Oh, of course, chili powder is the main ingredient in here. So I did about half of my teaspoon of my half a teaspoon size. So that, 2 teaspoons of the chili powder. So I did my own homemade taco seasoning, so we're gonna need 2 teaspoons. So I'm gonna do 4 of these because this is a half teaspoon measurement. Then we need 1 tablespoon of salt. All right, I'm gonna get a tablespoon measurement too while I'm at it. You know what? I'll grab a teaspoon measurement. 3 teaspoons equals a tablespoon. So it says a tablespoon of salt, half a teaspoon of ground pepper. Okay, so half a teaspoon of that. Garlic powder, we're gonna do fresh or my frozen garlic. And what about the ginger? I missed that. Half a teaspoon. All right, and then we're supposed to whisk that all together to make our sauce. Okay, it looks great, smells great. I just need my chicken to arrive. So I chopped up the rest of the sweet potatoes, put some cold water in here, and I'm gonna put this in the fridge. That way, when we're ready to use it, all I have to do is strain it, put it onto a sheet pan, whatever. It's all chopped and peeled and ready to go. So I gotta start making my banana bread because I really wanna sit down. Before I sit down, I still need to get that done because my bananas are very, very ripened. So I obviously didn't prepare this in advance and I didn't have any softened butter. So I'm gonna run my mason jar under hot water. And I'm just gonna kind of let it, you know, get nice and hot from the water. So I'm just gonna let that do its thing for a couple minutes. I got a KitchenAid bowl right here. I am gonna add my sugar into here. And again, I am doubling everything. So instead of half a cup of sugar, I'm gonna add in 1 cup of sugar. So here's the trick with the jar. So now that my jar is nice and hot, I am going to put it onto one of these things with my butter and sit my jar on top, and that's gonna soften my butter. Okay, so I'm just gonna let it sit there for a little bit while I'm getting the rest of the stuff kind of together. So I got that sugar, and I need 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. There's 1 and 4. Then I need to cream together that. I'm gonna get my eggs ready. I'm gonna need 4 eggs. So I'm just trying to prepare as much as I can in advance. I know I'm using more dishes. It's fine. I don't care about that. I just want it all prepared so I don't have to do any of that after. Putting a dish in the dishwasher is not a big deal afterwards. So I'm gonna crack my 4 eggs. And I just got a text that they're just started shopping for my Costco order, so they need to hurry up because I'm trying to get stuff made over here. Let's see if my butter is softened. Oh, you could see it's pretty soft on the outside. It might need a little bit more on the inside, so I'm just gonna run this under hot water again. All right, and then I feel like I just want to get everything else prepared also when I'm ready to add in the rest of the stuff. Yeah, we'll just get another bowl. Here is my mason jar. Okay, so everything else, so the eggs are gonna get added to that, and then everything else just throw that in, mix until it's combined. So I need 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. This is my homemade vanilla now. I just refilled this bottle, but because I'm doubling this recipe, 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon, and 1.5 teaspoon plus 1.5 teaspoon is 3 teaspoons. So I'm just gonna add in a tablespoon of my homemade vanilla extract. I have a feeling this recipe is gonna taste even more amazing just because it's homemade vanilla extract. We're using a lot of measurements today. So 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon. I'm gonna be doing 2. So baking soda and salt. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm doubling, so I'm gonna do a half. This is not salt, this is baking soda. So 1 teaspoon of baking soda, I'm gonna need to do double, so 2. This is baking soda, right? Yeah. Okay, at least it's not baking powder. That's not what I need. All right, so 2 of those. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I am just gonna pinch of that in there. That looks about right. Flour and sour cream. So I'm gonna do 2 cups of flour. And then here is my sour cream. I'm gonna need 4 tablespoons of sour cream. And I did just use this for sugar and vanilla. Just gonna wipe it down. All right. I mean, I might have just enough for 4 anyway. Okay. Oh, I forgot my starter and my bananas, guys. And because I'm doubling the recipe, I'm going to be using 1 cup of sourdough starter. My starter here, and we're just going to take a cup of that. Okay guys, let's check in on my butter, and that's looking great. So I'm going to add this into my other bowl over here, because we're gotta cream the butter and the sugar together. And I guess I should have preheated my oven already. I didn't do that, so Alexa, preheat upper oven to 350. All right, you guys are charging again, so I can't exactly move you, but I am going to cream the butter and the sugar together. Once that's mixed, I will add in the eggs, and then after that, I'll add in the rest of the ingredients that we prepared. So yeah, I'll be back to pour them in the pan. My Costco order is on its way. I have my 2 banana bread pans with some parchment paper that's just totally lifting up. It doesn't cover the whole thing, and that's fine. It's just I always have to wash it anyway. It's not to prevent like washing or anything. It's just I only have the edges to kind of unstick by doing it this way. So all right, I'm gonna fill my pans with delicious, yummy goodness. I got my 2 pans. I'm gonna get them in the oven, and then I gotta do some cleanup because I got another pile of dishes waiting for me. All right, well, let's get these in the oven. So my Costco order just arrived. I got my chicken thighs that I'm gonna open up and put onto my sheet pan here. I was kind of hoping I would just be able to get this thrown on there, but there is some fat I gotta cut off first. Here is 1 chicken thigh. All right guys, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get the sauce onto my potatoes. And it did harden a little bit, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. So onto my potatoes and my chicken. And I'm gonna mix my potatoes together to kind of get the sauce all over those. And then I'll brush it out on the chicken and then probably flip the chicken over and add whatever sauce I have left onto those. And years ago, I wouldn't even have done that, so improvement. I mean, there's a lot of things I wouldn't have done years ago, which is crazy. I mean, I still have a hard time eating things on a bone, but one day I'm sure we'll come around to it. All right, so this is ready to go. I'm just preheating my other oven so that I could get these in there. I did throw in some eggs in here, so I need to vent that out now. Alright guys, so I'm gonna get my sheet pan dinner in the oven, and it says to cook it at 375 for 15 minutes and then broil it for 5 minutes after that. So we'll see how that turns out, but 15 minutes, here we go. Alright, my timer is going off for my sheet pan, but I need to move some stuff out of the way here. This isn't hot anymore, so I'm gonna put this on the counter. Because I don't want to move my Instant Pot because I still have to make my oatmeal, so I still gotta do that. Whoa! Woo! Alright, well, obviously my pan warped. It's fine, everything's fine. A little crispy. With that broil, that was only 5 minutes. Maybe I should have put it on low instead of high, but there is my dinner and lunch. So right now, I have my eggs in here that were cooling down, so I'm gonna put these in a container. I'm gonna use 5 this week because I eat an egg pretty much every day in my snack pack. And then I have a couple of extra for Babe. He's probably not going to eat the actual chicken eggs, so I'm going to eat those. He's going to eat the eggs from the store. It took me forever to even get him to eat these eggs. He was eating like the cheapest Costco eggs for a while, and now we eat the pasture raised. But yeah, so I made that. Now I need to rinse my oatmeal, so let me just rinse this. These are from my eggs. I already washed my Instant Pot. And now it's time to make my oatmeal. So for my oatmeal, I did 4 cups of oats, and I had soaked them in the water and the apple cider vinegar like you guys saw. I'm going to go ahead and rinse them. Okay. And yeah, you just want to rinse it out. And I love this strainer because it fits in my Instant Pot and it fits a ton of my things, and it's fantastic. I like the handheld ones too for certain other things, but this is a great one, and I'll have it linked down below. And you guys know I always link my Instant Pot and everything I use down below, my Vitamix, my bowls, like everything I use, I have in the description box. Alright, so I'm going to transfer my oatmeal into my Instant Pot, or I guess it's not oatmeal yet, it's just oats right now. But I'm going to transfer this to my Instant Pot. Alright, and then I'm going to add in, wait, what am I doing? So I have 4 cups in here, so I'm going to add in 4 cups of water and 4 cups of milk. Alright, I'm going to get my milk in here first. Oh, I guess it's a little frozen still. Hence the chunks, guys. It's like frozen, it's like the cream. It's all good though. Alright, so I got 4 cups of milk in here. And then I'm going to do 4 cups of water. I feel like it's a lot, but I'm going to kick myself if it does burn. So we'll just add in the rest of it too, I guess. And then we're going to cook this for 4 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna put this in here. Okay, we're gonna close this. Set that to sealing, not venting, and we are gonna do 4 minutes. Yeah, my Instant Pot has been getting a lot of use today. A lot. Between the eggs, the 2 batches of tomato soup, now my oatmeal. But so has my Dutch oven. I've been using my Dutch oven today. Other pots and pans. I mean, I've been using a little bit of everything today. Literally, like, everything you could imagine you could do in the kitchen, I've pretty much been doing it. I let Hazel out before, and now I'm just coming to get her. Hazel Roney! Come here! She's not a great listener, though. Hazel, come! I see her coming. Come! What a good girl you are! Come on! Come on, let's go inside. Let's go inside. Hazel, come! Come on! I'll get you a treat. You want a treat? Yeah, there you are. There you are, my cutie patootie. I know everyone hasn't seen you in such a long time. How sweet are you? You're the... Oh, yeah. That grunt. That was nice, huh? Oh, how sweet are you? My oatmeal is done. So I'm just going to vent that out. And then I'm going to start putting it into my container, separating it. I have some apple topping, so I'll put that in here. Yeah, and I think that's going to be it for today's video, right after I show you guys the oatmeal, because I am pooped. It is now 5:30. I've been doing this since, I want to say like 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning. And yeah, I think I'm pretty much done also, which is good. It's just I have some other things that still need to go in the freezer, so I'm still waiting for things to get frozen, but that's pretty much it. My Instant Pot decided to flip out. This has never happened to me before. And it's like spurting out milk and everything. Oh my god, it made everything dirty, including my clean utensils on the side. More dishes. Look at this. All dirty now. That's never happened. I don't know what's going on, but I do need to get the pressure out in order for me to open it. But I really don't know why that's happening. So I don't know what was happening with that, but maybe it had something to do with the fact that this thing was full and this thing sits right here on the Instant Pot for like extra kind of stuff or whatever that might come out. So that was full, and maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But my oatmeal is very liquidy. I don't know. Everyone said this recipe is great. I think maybe it just needs to kind of thicken up and harden a little bit. I don't know if I should let it do that in here. I think I might leave it for a little bit and see, go shower or do something else, and then come back to this and see. But yeah. I think that's what I gotta do. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, it looks like it's getting kind of thickened up already. You guys can't really tell, but it didn't look like that a couple minutes ago. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for my next cook and bake with me video. Hazel and I say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Yeah. We saying bye? Oh, why are you putting your paw up? Does that feel good? Yeah, we have some sleepies here. Can I get those? Thank you. Oh, I love you. Give me a kiss. No? No kiss for mama? You just want all the kisses? Yeah? Can I have a kiss? Give me a kiss. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I love you. I love you. Oh, I love you so much. Okay. Anyway, guys, so we will see you guys in the next video. Talk to you soon. Bye.